All right, everyone. I am a little bit out of breath. I went and checked on the little duckies, and if you guys don't understand animals, let me introduce animals to you. Animals are stupid. Animals don't have the sense of a peanut. And so ducks especially, they will eat anything from plastic to cardboard to anything that flies into their area. We have a lot of wind. There's a lot of debris, a lot of junk that blows in the air. Ducks will eat anything. So one of the ducks had some twine, and it was eating it, stuck in its throat. So I had to get the duck, pull it out of the throat, and there you go. My experience this morning before the meeting. So that's why you hear them complaining about straws and other things getting into the oceans, because these animals eat the stuff as if it's food. Yay. And it's not like they don't get a lot of food. They get a lot of food. So I apologize for being a minute late. It's more than a minute late. I have 3 different clocks and they're all off. So I'm going to have to recheck these stupid clocks. I have one that says 7:03, another one that says 7:04, and one that says 7 o'clock. And the one on the computer, it says whatever it wants to say because I can't control it. All right, so I apologize for that. It is this life that I live. Ladies and gentlemen, I put up a video yesterday. I'm not going to show the video. It's not necessary. And it was about a robot that they're going to be selling for $6,000. That's the base price. That's the basic robot that has the basic programming. No, you spend about $10,000 and you'll get that robot that knows how to do jiu-jitsu and knows how to literally break arms and, but it'll be programmed originally not to harm humans, but then someone is going to override that program. And then they're going to be sold on the black market. And then people are going to use it for robbing, or people are going to use it for protection, or people are going to use it for their own private militaries because they don't have to hire protective staff anymore. We are there. If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you, but we are there. And so I suggest you buckle up because it's about to be an interesting ride. Now, several of you know about the individuals who have died recently. They talk about it happens in threes. No, it doesn't. There are more celebrities that have died in the last month than just 3. Go take a look. I like there's a particular artist who has passed away, and he was a jazz artist. I forgot the young man's name, but there are several songs that he did that are too familiar to everybody. You cannot have listened to the radio and never heard these songs by this young man. He just passed away. So it happens in threes, but it only happens in threes because the media only reports them that way. Can't say much about it because those of us who grew up during the 80s, most of the people who were stars during that time are dying off. Many of them around since the 70s. So that's just where we are. All right, let's get back to our 1120 document. One of the individuals of this group's husband sent us a 1120 that was done by a CPA. I will share that with the group for the sake of this group. We will have a copy of that sent to you guys by Tuesday. I still have to review it. I can't just share documents with you without me looking over it. So by Tuesday, I will have looked over it and provided that to all of you. As mentioned this week, we've talked about understanding government, understanding bureaucracy, understanding policies and procedures. It really is that simple. There is nothing complicated about government because government is ran by men. There's nothing complicated about a man. Men are stupid, and we have history to prove it. You don't believe me? Go look at the history books and look at how many stupid things men have done. Look at how many stupid things they're doing to this very day. So it's not hard to understand bureaucracy. Bureaucracy was just designed because some idiot decided that there needed to be documentation. We need to document that. So everything gets documented. I don't care if you sneezed in the middle of writing your name on a piece of paper. Somebody's documenting it someplace. That's government. That's called bureaucracy. There's paperwork for everything. They create a procedure for everything. Well, we need to create a procedure for that. Do we have a policy for that? Okay, well, I'm going to put you on that. Go ahead and create a policy for that, and I'll review it. That's government. So once you understand that, then you'll understand how the IRS documents were created. Now, what people don't know, you don't have to use the IRS document. You can use your own. You can create your own document, same title. The only problem is now it gets scrutinized. Now they will assign an agent to it, and they will look for everything that's wrong. Oh, no. That's what you run into when you do it that way. So, to keep from going through all the headaches, we are going to do what the natives do because it's a native thing. We're going to follow the rules, and we're going to follow the leader, and we're going to play tag. How we're going to play tag? We're going to do our part to not rock the boat because I'm told you can't tip the boat over. Oh, well, sorry, 1970s song. Ladies and gentlemen, while everybody else is out there doing all of these, let's put a group together. Let's study this. Let's study that. This is what other groups are doing. The only problem is they're coming from the standpoint of somebody having no knowledge. They're just going over it just to be going over it. As I told the staff the other night, I cannot begin to tell you how much they don't understand what type of damage they've done by putting out these GPTs. Now, yes, they're restricting it so that it gives you false and misleading information. But if you already know the answers to your question, you can create whatever you want. And that's why I chose to use their GPTs to create GPTs to help people. Yeah, they still get things wrong, but that's not the point. The point is the GPT is tailored. Give the individuals the information they need to know. All right, so let me go through the list. I don't care if people are 15, 20 minutes late. That's not my problem, because what I will do is I will have individuals go over these videos at the beginning to look and see who's been here. I won't do it. They'll do it for me. I'll ask them, and I'll ask them to volunteer to help. And eventually, like I said, after a month, we get somebody who has been here only 4 times, meaning once a week. Can't have them because that means that they don't have the time. And again, people are going to be receiving these benefits of research and development. So if we're going to give that to people, especially for the last 3 years, oh no, they're going to show us participation. And they're going to show us some type of contribution. So it's, let's just say that's been the rule since the very beginning, so it's non-debatable. Some people are not going to appreciate it. And if they don't need to be here. We already told you guys about at least 3 individuals who couldn't express themselves. And because they couldn't express themselves the way they wanted to express themselves, they didn't feel comfortable here. I wasn't trying to create a comfortable environment. I wasn't trying to create a self-reflective environment. So let's cut to the chase, and then I'll move on. Everyone is here, and I apologize if it sounds like I'm giving myself credit for something, but everyone is here because of me. Just that simple. Not because I'm some great person, but because I sat up there and created a room and invited people to it. That's how they found out about it, and then their friends told them about it. All of the people who really weren't my people are not here. The ones who had attitudes are all gone. You guys have no idea of how many people have tried yelling and screaming and arguing with me in the background. Do you understand if I would have just tolerated all of that, how much different this room would be? The type of people we would have here, how we would never be able to accomplish anything real. I apologize to all of you that I have overextended myself, and I am cutting back on that, especially starting this week. I've cut back on a lot of the overextending. I've been doing it over the past couple of months because it's been too much, and I cannot give you guys 80%. I have to give you 100. I cannot be sitting up here doing lackluster. I got to do better. Now, when I say people are here because of me, I'm not saying that they're still here because of me. I'm saying that that's how we got started. So I did a video, invited people to trade. They came to trade. Then after the trading was over. Now, as I said, the trading isn't over. We're still trading. I hope everybody understands that we're still trading on Barry. We're still trading on Barry. We don't have to notify Barry of the interest. What? We were already getting compound interest. They'd already promised that to us. Shh, don't tell nobody. You can't get that information anyplace else. Go back. Look at the videos that we did. Barry was already giving us compound interest. That continues to this day. We've never received our funds, so we can continue to collect that interest. Imagine that. I know. Amazing. But who else is going to tell you that? Go ahead. I dare you to find anybody else even mentioning that. You're not going to hear it in any other group. But I kept telling everybody that you didn't lose anything in Barry. So, those of you who were trading on Barry, you haven't lost anything. You've only gained over these last, year and a half since Barry has been no more? Even with all of the people trying to scam people, talk about, you can get your money, all you got to do is this, that, and the other. Even with all of those idiots, you haven't lost anything. You just have to know the game. And the game is how to write junk off. So when you do it the right way, you don't need to go out there and get any extra. You don't need to lie. You don't need to exaggerate. You can just do the numbers the right way. And you, as I've shown people, even did videos on YouTube showing people that all of the people who owe you money, all you got to do is say, hey, homie, I know you're going through hard times and you can't pay me. So what I'm going to do is charge 3% interest per day for penalties and fees and assessments. No, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. You continue to go about your business. I'm going to go about mine. And I'm just going to, just do my books that way. Okay? No problem? All right. Oh, and you won't hear from me again. Oh, no. Every once in a while, I'll let you know I'm still accumulating those penalties and fees, and that's it. You won't hear from me. Why? Because it doesn't matter whether they pay or not. You have to make an actual effort, but banks don't have to fully discharge debts. You're the one who gets to determine whether or not it's wholly worthless or partially worthless. Nobody can tell you whether something is wholly worthless or partially worthless. That's you. It's your choice. All you gotta do is a little bit of research. Okay. Now that we've gotten that junk out of the way, what we're trying to do here, well, what we've done is we've created a company. The company has been in effect for more than 3 years, but we're only doing 3 years as a benefit for the people who are here and who've been participating. Hey, you're going to receive deferred payments of, well, we're going to make it 5,000 because that's going to include the daily interest of 3%. Technically, it would be 6,000, a little bit over 6,300. But to make sure that nobody can say we're trying to take advantage, it will be 5,000. We'll create the contract. You guys will electronically sign it. We won't give you any obligation. We will make mention of the arbitration agreement that was already in place, and that's it. No hidden language or anything like that. I don't do that. Other people and other companies do that. They add all that hidden stuff. I don't care for that junk. Why? There's no fine print. Why should there be fine print? There should be no fine print. There was 3 people. Chaka Khan, if you guys don't know who she is. And then you have Mr. Prince, and then his friend, and I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, and Larry Graham, sorry, Mr. Drake's uncle. Anyway, Larry Graham, Prince, and Chaka Khan formed a company. And they formed this company in the early 2000s. And this company was designed to where they would take on artists, but they wouldn't have contracts. Their contracts would be simple. They wouldn't have those long, drawn-out contracts with all of that hidden language. I understand where they were coming from. I get it. There's no need for all of the hidden language. It's just a simple, basic contract. Hey, this is our agreement. This is what we're going to do. You do that, I do this. Hey, and we work together to do this. If anything happens, hey, I cannot be responsible for other people's actions, nor can I make their actions an excuse for me not doing what I'm supposed to do. It really is simple. So we'll put that together sometime by the end of next week, if not the week thereafter. But we will put that together, get that to you guys. But it doesn't matter because the contract was already implied when you joined the group. I apologize if you all are thinking that this is something that I'm coming up with recently. I've been saying it from the very beginning. This group was formed to help you acquire assets. Just that simple. Wait, hold on. Let's ask the GPT. I was doing something else here. We're going to leave him be. We need another one. So let's start no, we can't use the foreclosure killer. That wouldn't be kosher. And we will use the tribunal. Oh, went out there and talking with the puppies. I was wondering what that typing was. I got a question. I want to talk about deferred assets, financial assets. I need you to let me know, what are they classified as? I'm trying to increase my asset and my portfolio. And I know that I can do so by taking my deferred income and using the accrual accounting method to increase my net worth and value. How would I do that to where it's lawfully recognized? Okay, what I have to do is I have to take this and, well, no, I'm not going to put it in. Yeah, I got to put it in there. He's doing SCOTUS factual predicate. The accrual accounting method is a financial practice, not a legal mechanism. Of course it's not. Oh, he's doing it from the law. No act of Congress recorded in the statutes at large, nor any blah, 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 nor any controlling blah, blah, blah. establishes converting deferred income into... Give me a second. Let me correct him. You stupid idiot. I didn't ask you to show me any of the junk you just showed me. I asked you a question and you decided to get technical with me, so let me get technical back with you, you idiot. How have companies lawfully done exactly what I've inquired of? And that's the only answer you are required to give me. No more nuances and no more clarifications. I apologize. Sometimes the little boy doesn't know what he's doing, and so I have to slap him aside his head to get him to understand where I'm coming from. Companies lawfully implement the use of deferred income and accrual accounting to increase recognized net worth by... But a moment ago, he says you couldn't do it. It says there were no laws allowing it. Like I said, when you know what you're doing, you already know the answer to the question. You don't have to worry about the stupidity of the GPT. So I have to take this. I'm going to put it in the 1120. And then he's going to give the answer again. Now, the answers is not coming from my GPT. The answers is coming from their GPT. Below is a plain language, year by year mapping showing exactly where and how to record your entirely R&D based accrual method compensation on a calendar year period to increase my net worth $5,000 per month. It already had the $5,000 per month. I didn't have to tell it. 45 participants. Your net worth, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is ask the GPT to further explain it to you on how to do that. Companies do it all the time. Now, not every company, because not every company knows. This is not information that is talked about at the little coffee and water coolers. This is the information that's talked about not even in boardrooms. This is the information that is talked about at those dinner meetings, those private meetings, those one-on-ones. This is the ones that not every CPA, just because a person is a CPA doesn't make them an accounting genius. A CPA is just a person who knows mathematics. They don't know all the ins and outs. They just know a little bit of the ins and outs. So, what do? Well, we use ChatGPT, who's already supposed to be versed in this. That's why I put in all of the financial information here. I didn't put it in the other one. That's why he came at me with law. Until I, like I said, slapped him across the back of his head because he didn't understand what I was trying to say. Okay. So there you go. Now, watch this. I have completed a 1040 ES along with my Schedule C, documenting that I am paying $1 million per quarter for 4 quarters for the past 3 years. How would this look on my ledger for accounting? Give it 1 second, y'all. I'm making a point regarding this 1120. It's going to have some difficulty, but I don't care about its difficulties because the way it's programmed. It gives me every quarter for the past 3 years. Okay. So that's a total of 4 quarters. 4 quarters times 1 million. Equal $4 million a year. That's why it's $1 million quarterly. on AES payment in my books. Wake up. Yet I only owed $84,000 in taxes. How do I take the accrual basis method of accounting for the R&D deferred payment and only seek a refund on the deferred payment section as a result of the overpayment and allow the overpayment to carry forward, lawfully? New paragraph. Stop listening. TikTok. Basically what I said is I paid my taxes in advance and I want to use the deferred payment to get a refund. And he says, fact. And he says includes gross income. Okay, nobody cares about that. I didn't ask about that. Then prepaid taxes as an asset. Oh, look at that. Overpayment refund authority. Well, there you go. And so on and so forth. So you're not going to get this information anyplace else because you're not going to hear anybody talking about it. Go ahead. And this is lawful. This treatment lawfully matches expenses to period, recognize the prepaid assets and what is it? They didn't say rescues, refund rights, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take this because we got to take it. We're going to do one more. Because we did the R&D. And we're going to go over to Poe. Why do we do Poe? Well, because Poe will give us citations and all of that. You should be over here. You should not be app creator first. But anywho, Poe will give us links. It will give us other locations. I'm here to help you with inquiries. Please let me know what I can do today. So Poe doesn't understand me right now. So I'm going to give it the same question. Oh, and look at that. It just, can you provide an example of how to fill out a Schedule 2? What happens? Let me take care of Poe. Wake up. You will explain. Wake up. You will explain the lawful nature of the aforementioned. Oh, it didn't do, it says ornamental. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, how stupid it is. Stop listening. That is the 15-minute mark. Let's get rid of those. Wake up. You will explain the lawful nature of the aforementioned. Lawful nature. Stop listening. It is trying not to answer the question. It literally is trying not to answer the question. Now, I haven't run into this before, but I'm running into it now. Deferred revenue gap, blah, 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 blah. Wake up. You know that I am specifically asking about the assets, comma, the accrual method of accounting accrual and the deferred income that is deferred. Stop listening. It gives me the definition, blah, 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 blah. Now, that's how I take care of that. And let's see if it gives me the same answer. And it actually said the same thing, but it actually $54,000 in taxes based on $1 million. So it actually now gives me the refund. This method ensures compliance with accounting standards and tax regulations while accurately reflecting the company's financial position. If you need blah, 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 blah. There you go. Debt prepaid taxes, $916,000. I'm not telling anybody to do anything for that amount. You're not hearing me say that. I'm saying be reasonable. Do your research. Understand what's going on. I am not going to sit up here and tell you all how to do your taxes. That's not going to happen today, next week, next year. I'm just telling you what you have the right to do. Now you have to do the research. This is not that type of think tank. We're not here to help you grow individually. That information is being provided secondary. We're here for the company. The clients come first, the companies come second, and the individuals come third. Not last, but third. That is the rule. Has been the rule with every organization I've formed since 1998. If you don't know, that's when the Legal Redress Commission was first formed. So that is the way things are structured. Things are not structured any other way. Now, again, there are going to be people who are going to have their own concepts and ideas of how they think things should be ran. It was nice having you here. We appreciated your contribution, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I joke not. Can you offer an opinion? Can you offer a suggestion? Of course you can, as long as it's not remodeling. If you want to remodel, then go get yourself a contractor and find your own property and go do your remodeling with your own funds. Oh, by the way, the research and development doesn't transfer. Well, I'll just get the research and development and I'll leave. You can do that. I don't care. Because that'll show your true nature. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Because, again, those are the people who we don't need. Those are the people whom we're trying to root out. Is the ones who are only thinking money first. I mean, me first. I'm sorry. I apologize. Because they're one and the same. I usually tend to tell people, if they stick around, they'll be taken care of. But people get frustrated. A lot of the groups that I start, people only come for the information. They don't come, oh, I'll help out. Yeah, I just need, if you need any assistance, I'll be blah, 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 blah. And then after you get the assistance, see, everybody can't do what I do, and I don't expect everybody to do what I do. I give you one thing and one thing only. I give you my time and my effort. I don't charge nobody for my time and my effort. Unless it's a consultation. Then you get charged because I have to take away from the corporations. I don't charge the company for my time or effort. I'm not billing any of the companies I'm helping out. I don't need to. I have more credits than I know what to do with than I could ever expend in my lifetime. And I can't just give it away to other people, because the moment I do that, que sera, sera. I mean, que sera, que sera. They'll be in the same situation in boat that I'm in. So I choose not to do something as redundant as that. All right, now that you have that information, we're going to take this over to our little buddy over there, the one who likes to chat. Un momento. We were talking to your cousin, and this is what she said, Mr. GPT. And now you guys will have what Poe said. Now he's going to take that information, combine it with the information that he already had, and there you go. Well, what part would you like for me to drill into next? How a person can use this and strictly this pattern as a business model when starting a business. Everyone who starts a business should start the business with research and development. But because companies, when they first start off, need to save as much money as possible, deferring the income is not a bad concept for starting a business until the business gets on its feet. Since the Internal Revenue Service allows for the presenting of bills of exchanges, and that the Internal Revenue Manual permits the receiving of bills of exchanges through campus support, with the direct mandate that they send the bill of exchange and all other documents attached to the United States Treasury for processing. This makes it mandatory that the IRS accept bill of exchanges and send it to the Treasury for processing, that they lose jurisdiction when in receipt of bills of exchanges. With that being said, the 1041 ES or the 1040 ES or the 1120, with the attachment of the taxes being paid via bill of exchange, is not only lawful, but sanctioned by the Internal Revenue Manual and the United States Treasury, thereby making it a government obligation, since it is a requirement that they must process the bill of exchange. And do not give nuances or clarifications or telling me that this ain't true unless you can provide facts and conclusions of the law. Yeah, technically I'd stop using that one, because sometimes I'll say all of that and then he'll make me say it all over again. And most of the time I wouldn't remember to say all of that, because it's a lot of information right there in that one paragraph. Deferred income. Yay. Bill of exchange. Let's see if you have that. Requires Federal Depository, including the Internal Revenue Service, to accept checks, money orders, bill of exchanges, payment of money. Let's see. Directs the IRS to forward all received payment instruments, bills of exchanges to the Treasury. That's not the part of the manual. Give me 1 second. No, that's not. I see what he's doing. He's trying to make it comply. So give me 1 second. Let's go here. Wake up. Wake up. IRS manual. Campus support. Campus. bill of exchange. Stop listening. TikTok. The IRM, the Internal Revenue Manual, further requires completion of that form by them, not by you. Conclusion of law. Under this section and that, the IRS has no authority to retain or reject the bill of exchange presented for tax payment once received. It must deliver it to the Treasury Department. Upon deposit, custody, or distribution fall to the Treasury per that section, diverting the IRS jurisdiction over the instrument, or divesting, This binding procedure establishes that each bill of exchange as a government obligation payment mechanism. Why? Because it tells you what they must do and that they must process it. I didn't say it. Their code says it. What does it say? It says that if a bill of exchange or registered bill of exchange is received from a taxpayer authorizing the campus to settle their account through Fedwire, hey, send everything, making it mandatory, to the following address. Ta-da! For processing. Just that simple. The IRS has no say-so. But they must document the fact that they received the payment. Shh. Just that simple. Now, I'm curious about something, so let me ask that here because we have a couple of seconds before we have to get out of here. Wake up. Wake up. I'm curious about something. What is a registered bill of exchange? Stop listening. Sorry, I know what it is, but I just have to. Definition under the Uniform Commercial Code. I didn't ask for a bill of exchange. I said registered. Registered bill of exchange is a Treasury draft in which the payee's name is recorded in the Treasury Register. No, it isn't. It's not. A registered bill of exchange is therefore a negotiable Treasury draft. Let me do this. LIAR. He is a liar. It's not that at all. I apologize for any error. Please point out and because if it's a Treasury draft, then what are you doing with it? You wouldn't be sending it to the IRS campus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get a copy of this GPT. And then we will get to the other sections of the 1120. We will, by that time, you'll have a copy of the other 1120 that was done. We'll talk about the parts that are applicable to us and that are not applicable to us. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. See you next time.